3, 2, 1, end of test. King with a go.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Warbird Wednesday. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum. Today, we're continuing to go down Trainer Lane, and we're going to talk about the Newport 24. But first, my stereoteric assistant, I'm going to, he's actually laughing pretty hard. Look at these, what is this? It's like a chicken? Is it chicken? All right, we're going to toss this off camera. Ooh, look at that. That was a good one. Right into the hands. My stereoteric, whatever it is, assistant there caught it. Now we're talking about, I am going to grab, this is actually a Newport 28, but it is a Newport, which we're getting closer to some of these really old aircraft. But we're talking about the 24 today. The Newport 24 was used as an advanced trainer, and discuss a little bit of that and why it was used as an advanced trainer. Not so much in the fighter realm of the world. It was designed by Gustave Delarge, and it was a sesquiplane. This aircraft is more of an even horizontal wing. I'll go ahead and throw up a plan view. Greg can throw up a plan view of the Newport 24. Its first flight was in 1917, coming towards the end of the war. It was, as I said, used more as an advanced trainer. There were 310 of those aircraft built. Now, the thing about the fighters as they were evolving that time frame, remember, in the beginning of the war, you had aircraft that were not necessarily purpose-built fighters. They started to get some fighter aircraft going. Then the dogfights kind of came along. Now, you got to remember, we started to have interrupter gear. Prior to that, they were shooting at themselves, at each other with pistols, rifles, doing all kinds of stuff, or they would have, like the SE-5, they'd have a flex gun on the top of the wing. In this case, you have you're shooting through the propeller with interrupter gear. The aircraft also got more heavier. Now, the disadvantage with the Newport 24 was that the Newport 24 was lighter. It was lighter and a little bit smaller than, let's say, the later SPADs, like the SPAD 7, some of the later SPAD aircraft. And what ended up happening was, as the Allies fielded more and more modern fighters, and to some extent both sides, the idea of kind of the lone wolf, kind of the bantamweight fighter, right? Not the heavy fighter, but the bantamweight fighter kind of went away, because part of it was sheer numbers. The Allied aircraft that they were fielding were just essentially overwhelming the Germans. But the aircraft were getting heavier. We were getting away from these kites and this individual dogfighting, because they were starting to fight in units, in cohesive units. And the Newport 24, although it was a great bantamweight, highly maneuverable aircraft, could do all kinds of stuff, it did not do well when it came up against these heavier fighters. Hence, the movement to an advanced trainer, because an advanced trainer, you want the student to be kind of thinking about, okay, tactics that they can transfer over into the field. And because the 24 worked really well, and it kind of felt like a frontline fighter, that was the philosophy behind it. Very similar, and later I'm going to argue this, and you can fight with me in the comments, but let's say a T6 to a P-51, a heavier aircraft. I'm standing in front of a Stearman here, but you started learning a Stearman, then you got to the T6, a little bit more advanced, a little heavier aircraft, and then you moved into a fighter, P-51 or something else, a Hellcat, a P-47, P-40, whatever. that was where we were evolving as we moved away from the Knights of the Sky. And with that, I am going to take I'm going to put this on the stand and do my salute. Now, Jason has quite apropos, we get these things from a distributor, and this one, although it is not open, is half empty, which makes me oh so excited that I'm going to go ahead and try it. It does have Best by, this one is 20. So this one's been in the queue a little bit. This is Red Ribbon Soda Works Almond Cream Soda. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. I can just tell. I don't know. There's quite a bit of sugar in it. Calories 140. It does have a California cash refund, so it's not that old. So today, the folks that we are going to salute are just what I talked about, those Knights of the Sky. You maybe got a little bit of flight training, and maybe some of the airplanes that we talked about, you went up, there was no formalized training, no formalized tactics. You looked for that enemy aircraft that had a roundel on it, or you looked for an iron cross on the side of that aircraft, and you went after him. You went after them at speeds anywhere from 75 to about 125 miles an hour. And as I said, you could do everything from a pistol, a rifle, to early interrupter gear. So that just took, and it was cold, it was miserable. There was not really an opportunity to be able to bail out, so to speak. If the aircraft caught fire, you're probably not going to get out of it. And those guys really were the Knights of the Sky. So I want to salute them today. And with that, I'm going to salute them with my Red Ribbon Soda, which that came out pretty good. That is not a good sign there, Jason. Get the poison control ready. But to all those Knights, I'm going to take one for the team. Just get that on the lips there. We're not swallowing much of that at all. Yeah, this one is done. And it's also, it's dead. Look at it. There's no head on that at all. But to the Knights of the Sky, we're going to take one more for you.
Any luck, your husband will never touch another drop, Mrs. Nesbit.
You really think so, Doctor?
Oh, you take it from me. I've seen them all. Chances are it'll be a very long time before he takes another drink.
Wow. That is probably one we can put up in Greg's corner as an attempt to kill me. So, Greg, as you're doing the edit, I will score that one for you. Now, the Newport 24, that didn't mean that the aircraft didn't see frontline service. In fact, it did. Its most notable actions during the war was it shot down 2 Zeppelins. Think about that. That's pretty fun. I don't know if it was fun, but it's pretty accomplishing. The aircraft, as I said, wasn't very fast, 109 miles an hour. So, again, your family car could probably outrun it. The Japanese built it under license as the KO-3. The Americans had 224 of them in service, so it wasn't a terribly small build, but they built a few of them, and then it kind of went into history. Now, the next aircraft, I'm not going to tip you off, that's a trainer, is the aircraft that is the backbone of really the backbone and started American aviation. So I'll let you think about that one. So as they were done with the Newport 24 and it went out of service with the Allies, fairly quickly it went into what I would say they were scrapped and they went away. To my knowledge, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, there are no survivors of the Newport 24 or its variants. Now, the interesting thing is, Jason, you may not realize this, but Newport 24s lived on in limited numbers in that they fought at the Graveyard of Empires. They continued to fight on in Afghanistan to 1924. I wonder if with all that other ancient hardware that they were finding over there that you'd come across a Newport 24. That would be pretty cool. But at that point, the Newport 24 in 1924, I can almost wrap that, passed into history. Now, if you are at home, and of course, this is an iconic airplane, the Red Baron, the Fokker triplane, and if you want to amaze your friends and figure out how if you can build this. I have said I've never built one of these. Jason, have you ever built one of these? I haven't either. I got to take one of these home and build it. This is really cool. I encourage you to do that. It's actually got color on it as well. This would be a really cool thing for a kid in your life. So go ahead and click on that link, and Jason will run down to the post office and throw this little Fokker in the mail for you. So now we cannot do all of this. That was a pretty good play, Jason. You got to admit, that's in all of the Warbird Wednesdays I've done. That was probably the best word play I've done. And somebody's going to write, "You are not a stand-up comedian. Go kill yourself," or something like that. So I'm sure I'll get feedback on that. But if you want to help us, you can go ahead and click on that link. Need funding because we cannot keep these aircraft in the air without your funding, and we need those shekels or dinero or bucks or whatever. So click on that link, leave us a few bucks. If you came across us on YouTube or Facebook, leave us a like, a subscription, a comment. We love that kind of stuff. This segment that we're doing now came from a viewer suggestion, so thank you very much. So if you came across us on YouTube and Facebook, go ahead and give us a subscription, give us a like or a comment. If you know somebody that likes really low-end production Warbird videos, give them our link, send us to them. I'm sure they'll have a lot of fun. We love doing this stuff. Now, we have education on the site, and if you want to teach those kids at home, click on those links for those education guides, and we'll have those are free, by the way, and you can teach the kids at home. They are absolutely fantastic. We encourage you to do that. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
3, 2, 1, end of test. King with a go.
Rise to the blessed day, all my fears have gone away. I guess this means I'm here to stay. Yeah, I'm ready to fly, ready to fly. Wasn't long ago I shook at the thought of being hooked. But ever since I wrote my book, I'm ready to fly, ready to fly. Come along and join us, we can plug you in a simulator. We'll teach you how to dance and